Hello and welcome to Suwon, South Korea. It is the second round of the season in Formula 2 as we are about to begin the sprint race. A little surprising qualifying, as you might have been, as if you're just joining us, if you haven't watched it. And we're expecting, well, after an exciting Formula 1 race, expect even more entertainment from the Formula 2 grid. I am joined by my friend Despicable. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm excited.
Yeah, me
Got more
too.
racing to come.
It's definitely going to be an interesting race. We've got a different lineup. I'm not sure if they're going to redo qualifying. I don't think by the looks of it. Um, so if we are going by that lineup, it was very interesting. Obviously, as you saw, we had Miggy topping the leaderboard, which was surprising. But one of the things we were discussing is he that as a race pace, or is that not showing his true pace? So
Well, only time will tell.
exactly, only time will tell. That is right. I must say it's been a wipeout performance from Century GP obviously this weekend. So they're lining up on the grid now.
Mhm.
Drivers will be lining up, going out at the end of the pit exit, and we will give you a short and brief track walk or track debrief of the drivers as they come. So you see they're lining up on the grid now. Miggy taking his position in P1. So we've already discussed about Miggy, obviously, him being the driver who's set obviously the fastest lap only by 100th, followed by Melodic. So Melodic had a good finish last weekend, I believe, in the feature, and obviously Capitan P1 in the sprinter feature. Do you think he's set for a possible win this weekend? His first possible win in either the sprint or feature race?
I think the top are the who are going to be the people who finish in the top three. I don't know if the Porsche of Zazart will have to much pace to get in. We're just going to have to see.
Uh,
And so, yeah, you just don't really know. In the back midfield, it's anybody's race in midfield.
Exactly. The midfield, I think, will possibly be one of the most interesting. Up is very close together, and I think there could be lots of competition around there. But as you
Mm-hmm.
say, only time will tell. So let's
Well,
moving
looks
on
like
to
we have.
Capitan. Disappointed with a P3?
I think. I think if he is, he should look at his team is in second on the grid right now.
That
In the
is
banner, and that's what the Formula One at. Are you a team player?
that's exactly
And that
true.
kind of mentality is probably gonna help him. Mm-hmm.
I said that's exactly true, and I think he has got to have the team mentality. Whether there may be the call from the race in the sprint with Collide to possibly go, okay, Capitan, you got the win last weekend. Melodic is ahead of you. Do we keep him ahead and tell you to conserve tyres, or are they going to let, in your opinion?
Like to see him battle out now, would we? But at the same time, I mean, it's still early in the championship. I think they should let him battle it out. I mean, at the same time, you get Collide is on, as you said, so might not be. Um, it's going to be very hard, especially with some of the lag we've had.
Yeah, exactly, and we
So
Right.
saw the likes of some drivers having incidents in the last sprint race, taking out some of the front runners.
All right. So let's go
yeah,
on break while we wait for the formation lap to happen.
all right.
Alright, we are back now.
Right.
We believe this is lap 1 or formation. We're not actually exactly sure. We're following as he comes around P1 from sector. Large lag spike there. Followed by Real Miggy in P2 and Capitan in P3. Very close there, as Miggy just slightly gets an edge. It's them three really battling out, followed by Omni in P4 and Wolf. Do you think Miggy is going to be able to hold on to this pace though, while trying to maintain his tyres so that he can go for a no-stop during the sprint race? Do you think that's something he can consider? Newbeat, are you there? Newbeat, are you there?
Okay.
I think he's gone, but
Yeah, I had a brief interruption.
no worries. Do you think Miggy's going to be able to hold on to this pace here? So he's staying right with both the Century GPs. We've seen them both have a rapid pace with a large lead last weekend, but do you think up with them and he can do it?
Well, right now he's down in. Right now he looks like he's down P3. He's right on the end of it's like Mellow. I can't really tell. Lag's preventing me. Yeah, Mellow. And yeah, this is gonna be interesting when collisions get turned on lap 3.
Exactly. So that's gonna see possibly the two behind the front runner maybe back off, maybe be more conservative. But then there is no opportunity to try strategy. They are going to have to take it on raw pace. So that will be the interesting thing.
And you see the two Centauris duking it out while collisions are off.
They seem to have pushed slightly ahead of Miggy now. If we're looking at the midfield, we've got Simon for the Renault in P6, who was trailing us in the Porsche. You've also got Wolf's Laundry, who's behind Miggy, with quite a gap there from the top three in the Brandstar F2 Academy, obviously the newest team to join us. Looking at the back here, it's a poor show here from the Force Bangladesh team, with Rapgod in P19 and AG in. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, bad start from Force Bangladesh, and as the East. No, excuse me, that's Rapgod.
Who was that who crashed out there?
Having some drama.
Yeah, he seems to be having some issues here, sliding about.
And we have a red flag.
There's a red flag. I don't know if that's intentional, but a red flag has been put out now. As we're struggling.
Were the collisions going on?
Ah, okay. So
collisions and how the carnage has started.
And that's a Renault who's crashed out.
My
and seems to have hit Nicoli. So the AMR and the Renault seem to have collided. I believe that was the Renault of II Mello. As he goes past Snore there. Very interesting. And Real Miggy tops the lead.
Look who's in the lead.
Real Miggy topped the lead.
Wow.
He's followed. He's managed to decide a 1 second gap there to Capitan behind him.
That's
Melodic
incredible.
trails by a second. So something must have happened there. Whether it's a mistake or whether Miggy
Oh,
put
the
his foot down.
Porsche's gone off.
The Porsche of who?
Big savings on he just took the turb on that corner exit, went across the track, saved it on the grass.
Ah, he seems to have dropped back to Omni now.
Yeah.
So he's really fallen back, and now Omni and Sims are going to be applying a lot of pressure on him, looking for the overtake. And that also could be a downside to as Miggy seems to be able to maintaining his gap ahead there. We don't know how his tyres are looking, but he seems to be quite confident there. Hasn't seen any effect yet.
The copy might be gained slowly.
Yeah, however, Cap...
Well, for that last corner...
Cap does seem to be getting away from Melodic. Melodic now got a 3.3 second gap to the 2.4 second gap to Capitan ahead. He's be falling back from his teammate. But again, if you're still looking at it from a Century GP point of view, if that was the standing for a sprint, you'd be very happy P2 and P3. I think TDM will be very happy with that, being the owner. Renault with
have a nice battle going on between Sims. No, excuse me. We have a nice battle going on between Sims and Unme. Or it looks like almost falling off and about to be overtaken by East.
Yes, it does. I wonder if he got a poor extra there, but East is right on him in the Kitano junior team, obviously. So it seems like the British Aviators has made an announcement there. Some of the F2 drivers seem to be struggling. It may be harder for these cars. Obviously, they are very different from the F1 cars. Action, not as high top speeds. So, interestingly, obviously, Omni's lost his position to Sims now. Oh, as there's a big crash! Omni has gone off into the wall.
Oh,
That's
Omni
completely
into the
ruined
wall.
his
Oh, there's another one.
LeCoupe follows him. The AMR and the HWA both go off the exit of that corner and onto the DRS straight. I wonder if they've just accelerated too fast and just lost traction. So that Sims clearly lead there, and LeCoupe falling back as East is right on Omni now. He managed to not lose any direction. East seems to have taken the lead on Omni. Yes, East has the lead on Omni, so we follow down Sims. Meanwhile, looking to the front, we have Real Miggy, who's managed to maintain that gap, if not extend it by half a second. How do you feel about
that? Well, I guess that qualifying pace was right.
Yeah, definitely.
Good on him.
We didn't think he was going to take it after his poor performance in Australia, but yeah, good on him. He's definitely going to get some Sala, and maybe they can start working their way up, and Miggy may have a chance for kind of a contender for the podium this season. Someone we didn't expect at first, but now we are. Looking slightly back behind now. No, go ahead.
Zazar trying to hold off Sims.
Yes, so it seems as Sims has really caught up with Zazar as they're going along the DRS straight. Obviously, no DRS in F2. He's still going to have the slipstream. Sims has been given a warning driving, so we'll see what happens here. And they seem to be side by side now. Coming to the exit of the corner.
Down the exit. Oh.
And he really seems to be trailing now. Zaza seems to be defending well as he goes around the outside. Has he got the position?
No, they touch.
They do touch.
Zaza goes
runs
off
wide, and so does Sims.
Oh no, but
Sims
went wide.
thought he would have had the position there. He's fallen back now.
Sims dives.
Yeah, and that may have had an effect on his tyres. What's happened there onto the exit of that corner? He's really fallen back now.
He's going for the dive bomb. Didn't work. And Wolf Landry is in third now. Something happened to Capitan.
Yeah, that is poor from Capitan as the winner of the last two races last season. He's really not going to be happy with that. Maybe this doesn't favour him, but Wolf has managed to get the position, and right now he's on for a podium. The Brown Star Shea will be very happy with that, I'm sure. And so obviously him falling back, that now means Miggy has a 3.5 second with 2 laps to go. I'm sure he's feeling very confident right now.
So, Capitan has some ground to make up, obviously.
Yeah,
see if
definitely.
he can do it in 3 laps.
Yeah, so it seems like he's going to try and be fighting for that P3 position. We're going to be watching very closely because last lap he managed to set a fastest sector 1. So could that show that he's still got some tyres left push and try and fight Wolf for that position and those extra points for Century GP. Looking slightly back down the field, AG Capadona for the Force Bangladesh has managed to make up a position. Rap God still sitting back down in P was complaining of some dangerous driving there. I'm not sure from which driver. I'm not sure if you saw that at all.
I did not.
But yeah, this has been a very interesting exit, obviously, with Miggy falling back. Looking back now, Capitan seems
have a nice throw.
Stayed with Wolf. He seems to have managed the gap. Do you think he's going to be pushing on the next lap? Because surely, if you're going for this position after having an issue, you're going to be sending it flat out, in theory. Oh, and he slips there and nearly loses it, but you'd be thinking he'd be pushing it flat out to try and take the position. But he seems to be struggling with. Do you think it's tyre related, or do you just generally think this isn't one of his favourite tracks?
I think it's tyre related. If he's starting to slip, probably it's tyre related.
Yeah, it does look like that. It's gonna be interesting for the feature race as AG Kappa is warned for dangerous driving now. So you don't know what's happened there, but he seems to be right on LeCoupe. So some sort of incident must have occurred. Seems to be a large gap between P and
I think he might have. Maybe he might have had some dangerous rejoin. I clicked away as it happened, so I don't really know.
Okay.
But, car ahead of him Lacapa slides. That's going to give AG the position back.
Ah, so AG is now taking the position from Lecoupier. He's going to be trying to fight that back. Now, one thing we must notice here, we were talking about earlier, Capitan, he's now dropped down to 3-second gap to Wolf in front. So he must be having some kind of issue with his tyres here. Because the pace we've seen in him, it's either got to be tyre related or he's just track. Which is because he didn't do particularly well in qualifying. And obviously you don't need to worry about tyre wear there. So the midfield seems to be staying quite similar now. Sims has lost the position to E at some point during the race. As you can see, East has moved up to P6. And it looks like Capitan is not going to be challenging for that P3 position. I wonder what the command, if there was some kind of team message there. Maybe just try and get to the end of the race. If you push too hard, we could lose it. But who knows? Who knows?
Rap God down P10.
Yeah, we've had a retirement with B guys there, which managed to...
And Ashleimer, Waffles are retired. We have 18 cars left.
Yeah, so Rap God running in final position there, followed by and then II Mello. So Melodic Adrian seems to have slightly run down the gap on these last few laps, which is quite interesting.
No, too little, too late.
Yeah,
too late.
He's pushed a little too late.
Hold on.
Oh,
making collision on Capitan, currently in review.
So that's a major thing now we've just seen. Possible in review of this situation. The chat seems to be confused. Some sort of collision on Capitan, and that may have been the reason why Capitan fell down to P4. And obviously TDM, being the team owner, may be disputing that after. AG Kappa seems to have maintained position and his lead to 3 seconds. Is beginning to catch Antilol. Sims seems to be sitting quite nicely there. As
Sims is decent now.
I wonder if he can make a position on him as they come along this DRS straight. Following nicely around that long right hander there. Many people can run too wide and go over those hidden name clubs. Being very unlucky to have been stuck on there on a few different tracks there. But he's still having the same issue in the same place.
Bump. Going for the send. Nope.
Oh, Sims was...
Sims trying in there.
Yeah, I think for a move, but that didn't quite...
But he gets a...
Oh, he's gone for the dive. Oh, and they've collided. He runs wide. That did seem like a dangerous dive.
Penalty.
That's got to be a penalty, surely. He's dived down the middle.
That is a...
East has managed to make the best out of a worse situation, recover, and hasn't lost it too much. I wonder if it'll be investigated or not. Miggy very happy
That's
with
gotta
P1.
be investigated.
Melodic P2, Wolf P3, managing to secure it, and glides across the line, barely making it across. Zaza coming across in P5 for the Porsche. Is Sims going to take the position of P6? And there seems to be a no argument in the chat. Definitely, I think that was a dangerous move.
He just threw it in there, and just he even overshot the corner.
Yeah, which is why he ran wide. East then trails in P7.
Yeah.
So he loses position. Antelo, who's had quite a consistent race there, finishes in P8. The fourth Bangladesh of AG Capadona managed to make the best situation, comes across the line in P9. Lecoupier of the AMR, who was warned for dangerous driving, comes across P10. The Brandstar F2 Academy driver of Water Department comes across in P11. And then we have Snore Rules of the Porsche driver coming across to finish in P12 there. Okay result, but he's lacking slightly from his driver. He seems to drop down to P13 as Nikolai has taken him on the last line there. Right across the line, he's taken the position. Omni finished P14. Brom right behind him, P15. II is slowly coming around the corner now. Rap is right behind him. Will Rap have time to make a move? II seems to be really... Oh! And he nearly loses it there. Does he make it?
Right
position?
side. Oh,
Rap does make it. On the final mark, he makes the position.
Got it.
Right on the line, Rapgod takes P16 for ultimately, however, a quite disappointing performance for us. That's really going to put them down, or in fact not push them up at all in the rankings. So what do you feel about still in review? Wait, so they're still reviewing that incident with Real Miggy and Capitan. We do none there, but What is your opinion of that final lineup? What did you think?
I didn't see it. I mean, Capitan lost of places. They should look at that. They also should look at the Sims incident with East.
Definitely. So I
I think
we in a few minutes we should be joined by the team owner of Brandstar, Shay, who will be talking to us about his driver's performance, how he felt about it. So that is coming in the next few minutes. So no penalty has been
Mickey
given
will
to
get
Miggy.
no penalty.
So as any fan, you've got to feel happy there for Miggy. That's a great performance.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be over the moon with that, and surely he can do the same thing, or if not something good in the feature. So now we are joined by the team owner of Brandstar, obviously F2 Academy team, Shay.
Hey, thanks guys. Great to be here.
So Shay, how do you feel initially about the just finishing in P3 and P11, both drivers in the sprint race?
You know, I feel really good. Water did really good. He had some issues with his car. It turned out his handbrake was on at the beginning, so he was stuck in the back of the pack. But he was able to get into an 11th position, which I'm very happy he was able to do. Give me a second. Hey, spawn the cars already! Sorry about that. Anyways, but Wolf Landry did really good. We had to get a replacement for Breezy since he was running in GT3 this weekend, so he couldn't run an F2. So we got one of our boys from Project Track Day, Wolf Landry, did great stuff today. We are looking to try and beat drivers, and we did that for the sprint race, and we're hoping to do that for the feature race as well. And I'm hoping that Capitan is shaking in his boots.
Yeah.
Any questions from you?
But other than that, yeah, it was a great race.
Yeah, I think you've hit all the nails on the head. I don't think I have any questions.
Yeah,
thanks,
definitely.
guys. You're doing great.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
and good luck for the feature race.
You too. Yeah.
He's got to be very happy with that, managing to beat the Capitan, who's the reigning winner from last round. I mean, you've got to be over the moon with that. He's a reserve, Wolf Landry, they bring in, and he's on the podium. I mean, that's quite spectacular. As we now see the drivers line up on the grid, reverse grid, obviously, as you may be aware. So for the feature race, first is obviously in the position behind. So it's completely reversed, so it means that the drivers who are behind have a better chance of scoring more points. So obviously that could play into the hands of some of the midfield teams, and a lot harder for the likes of the Century GP drivers, etc., to make, obviously, completely wipe the competition.
And there's no collisions in this, right?
There is no collisions in the feature, correct. So yeah,
it'll make it a little more easier to pass.
Definitely. I mean, it'll be less risky, and if there's a mistake, it is purely down to the driver, because there is no way that anyone can interfere with that. So, do you want to walk us through our line? So, LeCoupe, in feeling about that?
LeCoupe P1, I think he's definitely got potential. He's probably going to be down pace compared to the people in the back, but
yeah, definitely. That's the main thing with this feature, isn't it? This feature.
He'll have his work cut out for him.
He will. He will
definitely have his work cut out for him.
That's the main for races, isn't it? Because obviously the faster drivers are behind, so as a driver in front, you're constantly just trying to hold them off and defend from them, and it's harder to do when you don't have collisions. Obviously, that's why they were turned off. So, P. Capitona, what are your thoughts on that?
That had a pretty decent race. His teammate, on the other hand, didn't, but I think he can definitely bring points here.
Definitely.
With a solid result.
Definitely. You can try and make the best of a worse situation, as I said. And then you've got Antilol in P3, who had a mixed race, I'd say, match positions. So now they're off on the formation lap, as we see the drivers go round, holding the position. Slowly going away, possibly
Do we have an issue?
Do we have
an issue with the leaderboard?
I think we may. They're probably going to have to jump in and out of their cars once they get back.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to free.
That shouldn't be too much of an issue.
as we're following the drivers along. So there'll be a better chance for the bottom drivers who still got quite a lot of talent but just haven't got that raw natural pace to perform well in qualifying. We should definitely benefit them. And obviously a lot of drivers tend to go into the F2 and then can move on to the F1. It's kind of a preparation phase for them, which is a sort of a way of not introducing them straight away and chucking them in the deep end.
Yeah, I mean, it's just at the same time, you've got in the end, you gotta want to be an F1 guy.
Exactly.
That.
And that's one of the
that,
main
that's,
things they
that,
follow
that's,
here.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see
And
that
the people
from
who
some
want
of the
more
drivers with poor talent. Although one thing about is, which is, a lot of us were confused in the Iron community. Capitambo chose his F2 team over racing for F1, which he had a good chance for Brandstar. What do you think about?
I mean, it's interesting. Does he think he's not ready for F1, or?
I mean, I'm not sure. It may be of kind of just he's kind of easy way of getting out of it. I mean, from the performance in Australia, he's possibly running through his head. Oh, I've had a good performance in Australia. Am I just going to wipe out the competition and then got a secured win for that? Maybe that's what's running through his mind. We're not sure. We'd see if we can maybe get an interview with him. As you can see, the drivers are now lining up on the grid for the feature race. Yeah.
Where did the rest of them?
3 of them got away early, and then the others took their time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's going to be definitely interesting. All the faster drivers are going to be playing catch up for the most of this race. You know, who can make up the most in the time that they have. So they've got 16 laps, double the length of the sprint race. It's definitely going to be interesting, and I think we could have some very good. So interesting, there's 10-second penalty. So that is what we expected, isn't it? We saw him make that dive down into one of the final corners on the last straight. I mean, it was just really careless, wasn't it? Oh, so it cancels the grid. So I think he loses the place to East. I'm not sure if he loses the place to whoever was behind East. Might have been Zaza, I'm not sure. Who knows there? But yeah, definitely, I think that was deserved.
East.
I think he really wanted that position. But it's a shame, really, isn't it? Because this, again, is preparation for F1, and that's going to ruin his reputation slightly. If it had maybe just waited out, he could have taken another corner, as we are now watching the lights. Ready.
Lights. Yep. There's some rap guys complaining about something. And the lights are broken, apparently.
And we seem to have had an issue with the lights now. Seems like
start of this
with the lights. Not sure exactly what's going on there. Drivers seem to be lined up and ready. Lights out and oh now. Seems to be a good start for La Coupe.
That's a good start over. Yep.
The Renault of Sims seems to get away nicely. Or is that II Mello? He seems to possibly made up a position.
La Coupe has an outstanding start.
Definitely, followed by the Renault, I
pulled
believe.
The gap.
And then closely with the Togo Junior team there, Tano. But yeah, definitely a very interesting start. Le Coupe getting a little bit of a lead, but is that going to be enough for him to hold on to as he's constantly defending from the drives behind? Both the Centuria are up there, if you've noticed that. They managed to get
it's a very good start from Mello.
Yeah, especially Mello.
Mello being scored second.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Possibly vision lag, but he's being scored second there already. Sims trailing in a great position of P3. Oh, and there was some sort of glitch there. I thought someone would crash. The Care is running alongside. Oh, major crash on the Century GP. HWA and Century. Oh, it's all gone chaos here. It's all gone chaos.
It's all gone horribly wrong.
Melodic has completely gone off wide. I believe we had an AMR of Nikolai who's gone off wide. Rap God had a major issue there. Oh my word. Along that second DRS straight, some major issues.
That bump
is
That bump has been an issue in the F1 races and the sprint race, and oh boy, it has struck hard.
definitely P13.
Capitan fighting for the lead.
Yeah, Capitan managed to work his
Capitan
way
has it
up, and he's taken the lead
on the first lap.
already. So that's surely a prosperous race for him. Maybe you can get a podium likely here in the feature race and make up for the mistakes he made in the sprint or whatever happened.
Wolf in third.
And there's been some sort of issue. AG
Wolf has had a great
Capadona
start.
is dropping down now. He had a great position, and Sims seems to have worked his way back up to P5. So Sims and East there, very close. The two who had initially. Lecoup's
And
managed
East,
to stay.
yes.
Oh, Lecoup's taken the lead back, I believe.
Oh, there must have been a mistake by Capitan. Rare mistake.
Yeah.
No, he's behind him.
Oh no, they're neck and neck. Yeah.
Capitan's still in the lead.
Lecoup's run wide, I guess, to avoid giving him the slipstream. And
Oh,
again,
nope, he's got a better.
Wolf has managed to work his
Lecoupe
way up
in
to
lead.
P3, however. Again, the
And
driver
here
was
comes
seen
Wolf
reserve.
Landry.
Great
Oh,
stuff.
there goes the Lecoupe.
Ah, Lecoupe has clipped
Lecoupe's
the
off.
exit
Wolf
there.
Landry might have the lead. Nope.
He's
Wolf
trailing,
Landry
he's trailing closely behind
almost had the
Capitan.
lead there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he nearly did. And I'm sure
Capitan.
Shea would be extremely happy with the performance there from Wolf Landry. If he was even to manage to get a kind of win, that would be amazing. And they were signing him as a permanent driver if he's going to be performing like this. Wonder if we can get some sort of words from him later, maybe after this race, and see how.
Agreed.
As Sims is dropping down now, he's maybe having some sort of issue with tyre wear, or is he trying to maintain it to go for a no stop? That's
I
one
think
thing
he
we
just did a
haven't
master
talked about.
back.
That's one thing we haven't.
Yeah.
Strategy here. So most drivers are going to be going for the one stop. The no stop is incredibly risky, and you'd have to take a lot of your pace. What do you think about the no stop then? Do you think go for it?
I think. Oh no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
We're seeing some drivers at the end of the last race, 8 laps sliding.
On this lap, it's way too dangerous. They've got to be mad to do it. As Zaza is now P3 for the Porsche. It's going to be a good performance.
He is side by side with AG.
Yeah,
And just a whole pack of cars behind him.
definitely. It's from AG all the way to about all very close. Sims following
Mello,
slightly
who's
behind.
8th.
And one thing we haven't noticed is Miggy has not particularly catched up very much compared to the likes of Melodic, Capitan, and Wolf Landry.
Yeah.
He's not catched up very much, which is we're really expecting him in
10.
this race.
That's a bit of unfortunate for him, unless he's conserving his tires.
Yeah. Now Renault have got to be disappointed with that. II sitting. Oh, and that was a brand star who's gone off. Was it Wolf?
Oh, there goes. Yeah, Wolf Laundry has.
I believe it may have been, and I believe it was water department.
No,
who's
it's
gone
not. It
off.
was water. It was
Yeah.
water department.
Water department has gone off there. Is that same? They've got to be very
Ooh,
careful as a Catano
Someone
runs
goes
wide.
wide.
Or is that a Windsor? Apologies.
Yeah.
Windsor ran wide of the
Oh, Windsor,
tactical.
okay.
It was tactical Roby Pepsi. Yeah, he ran very wide there. But yeah, that was
Wolf
very
Landry.
interesting. Wolf
Wolf Landry gotta have to hold off the Porsche now.
Yeah, Zaza's closing up. Maybe suffering a little
Zaza
bit.
gets out of
from
shape.
tyre wear.
It's out of shape, and he's gonna have to fight off East.
He is.
Oh, to go no sideways with the Porsche.
Zaza
East
falling back.
gets the run out of the final corner into third.
And he's taken it. P3, only on for a podium. Poor old Rap
Zaza
God.
now has to hold off again.
Poor old Rap God down
Yep,
at
go ahead.
P15 here. So he's really not had a good weekend, has he? P18 in the
Oh!
sprint. Who's gone off?
AG Capadonna into the wall, and he has damage.
Oh
The
no.
day just gets worse for Fort
Yeah,
Bangladesh.
sliding about left, right, and central there. That is really disappointing for him.
Oh, and yeah, he had damage.
They are really, the team owner is not going to be happy with the performance there, and maybe there'll be some kind of reshuffling. And it could be they're not suited to this track, but who knows? This track does seem to have been
Wolf
very
Landry
tough.
has overtaken. Wolf Landry's overtaken East again.
Great
That
battle
scrap
there.
continues for third.
That is a great battle
Watch
there,
out,
man.
Mello's gained 3 into 5th.
Damn, Mello has made some great ground with a purple sector 1. Mello's really recovered from that incident.
Wolf and East still basically side by side into this S section.
This is
Into the right,
obviously
keep it right. Oh,
where we saw Sims dive down in the position and lose it.
yep. And he's trying to get the inside. Side by side through the S's. Who has the best grip? Wolf Landry, look at the inside. No, he will not get it that time. Who has a better run? A little shake in the rear. From East, Wolf Landry will take advantage of that.
Now Wolf's going to try
Oh,
and
they're
get the
still
better
both side by
traction.
side. Look at this.
As they're coming onto the final straight, both neck and neck. Brilliant driving between the two.
It's like Wolf
Unless
Landry
someone's
still
gone off
has
behind,
it.
that's Zaza. Zaza has gone off on the final
Oh
straight.
no!
Completely lost
Into
traction.
the wall.
And he drops down. Sims now has managed to recover and he pulls up into P5. And Melodic is now and is going to be breathing down the neck of East. Still neck and
Oh,
neck.
there goes
Wolf
somebody. That was Real Miggy.
Real Miggy.
And Lacopiade both into the wall.
I believe Water Department has an issue as well. So lots of slips and crashes here already in this feature race, and we're not even halfway through.
Tire wear going down? Maybe?
Yeah, possibly. And that begs you what's going to happen at the end of this race then. If they're going to pit stop early because they're having issues now, some drivers, what is going to happen at the end?
Oh man, this I don't know. Like, they won't be able to last the full.
Exactly.
If these tires last 5 laps, they won't be able to last the whole race at all.
Yeah, so
No, there's definitely some still there.
so that's
It's definitely
AG
creeping in
Kappa,
now.
La Coupe, and Real Miggy are battling out for 6th, 7th, and 8th there. But meanwhile, we're moving over to Wolf and East, who are still very close together. Now East really
East
wants
has
this
the
position here. It says
East
according
has
to
the
leaderboard
fastest
he's
lap
ahead.
of the race.
Yeah, he does. So he must have had a fast lap last lap, but they're definitely suffering from the tyre wear now, starting to begin to feel it. And you'd be thinking they'd be boxing around lap 8, halfway, and that gives you even tyre wear. But we'll see what the strategies are like. Make sure to keep your eyes open for who's going into the pits, especially on these upcoming
East has
laps.
looks like he's trying to pull away a little bit from Wolf.
Yeah, still going to be happy with a P3, but he's got that mentality. He wants as much as he can get. He's greedy and he wants that P2. Capitan is just extending his lead here. He's going to be very happy with that. He's just got to continue his race and not make any
Lacopiade Water Department. Lacopiade Water Department going at it.
Yeah, we're seeing that now.
See Water Department who
AG
big
has got away.
slides.
Oh, and he's
Big slide from water.
he's completely gone off the track and lost it. That has got to be his race over there. That is completely
That's
ruined his
unfortunate.
race. I'm sure Shay is not going to be happy with that. Funny how the
Zaza
reserve
down to
building
9th.
does a lot better than the main driver. Yeah, so Zaza is down into 9th after his incident. He's fighting against with Real Miggy. And one driver we haven't had a look on is Simon, or Sims. He's been very consistent running around here, consistently in P5. He's now going to have to begin defending from AG, however. Seeing if he maybe makes up some ground on Melodic. But Melodic has started working his way down to Wolf. Definitely, however, both these Force Bangladesh are being very slippery, especially along that bumpy straight. You're praying they don't slide off there. Now what's going on with East and Wolf?
hanging on.
East seems to be slowly getting away here. Oh no, and
he
he's
is.
gone off into the wall.
Oh,
He managed.
he's binned it.
I think
Oh,
he's just managed to recover it from the wall here. But
is he ahead of Wolf?
That's
Wolf
helped Wolf a lot there.
I think Wolf has
Especially
him.
if Wolf is
He does.
conserving his tyres, especially, that may have helped him a lot.
Wolf
So-
has moved back.
Wolf has moved back, yeah, crucial for the team. He's going to be very
East
happy
is
with
overtaking him in first corner.
that. So now we could see some drivers
has got him
beginning to
back in-
box. Has anyone come in just yet? We're not sure.
I have not seen him win box yet.
However, Rap God... Oh, that is Real Miggy, I believe, coming into the pits. No, he's just ran wide. There is a very
he's just
tight
ran
box
wide,
now
yeah.
between from Rap God all the way to Real Miggy. There is a very close contention for P9.
Ooh, Zadars are going off. More slips, more slides into T3, and Real Mickey into the wall yet again.
So Real Miggy really suffering with these longer races here. You beg to wonder here. They may be fast drivers, but they've also got to be consistent, keep a lap, and they've able to manage their tyres, which seems a lot of the drivers aren't be able to doing. The likes of Water, AG, Rap, and obviously as we've seen Real Miggy with one of the most disappointing performances.
Yeah.
Although if we're considering it and basing it against his previous, this is average. Oh, as one of the Force Bangladeshis, as I previously said, goes really wide, of AG Capadona. East and Wolf, however, seem
Wolf is ahead of East.
Still battling it out. Neck and neck.
Wolf is starting to pull a gap on East now.
He's really going to want that. Is he going to box this lap? We will see. Or
we'll see.
Is East going to come in, and if Wolf doesn't, and possibly go for the undercut? He doesn't go in. Does East go in? East does not go in either. They're both staying out. I wonder if there's some sort of still issue with pitting, or was that fixed?
Yeah, there still is an issue with pitting. You have to reset your car, I think.
Oh, so
unless there was unless it solved itself with the server restart.
That could change a lot. And thus Water Department, who has gone to the wall, he's going to be dropping down even further places, nearly losing a position from Tactical, and is now 40 seconds. And they both dive into the pits. They both dive into the pits. The likes of Tactical and Water Department are both coming into. So as you can see, yeah, they're driving.
They will have to reset their cars.
So that could change a lot of things. A lot of time could be lost in the pits here if you're slow. If you've got a lot of team, that may be able to help.
Real Miggy.
Miggy comes out ahead as expected, and he comes out just ahead of Nico. So it seems as Wolf has managed to gain about a 2-second lead against East now.
East is probably off.
Yeah, possibly. And is East going to possibly go in for this lap if Wolf doesn't? I wonder if that's the message. If Wolf doesn't box this lap, undercut him because we're losing time against him now. I mean, that would be a cool thing.
Zaza trying to get past Rap God.
Rap God seeming
looks like
to make
Rap God running a little bit wide.
Yeah, Rap God seeming to make a better situation. He was down in P15 previously, and he's done a lot better now, as Melly's suffering a little bit from tyre wear. And now only 5 seconds. Capitan comes into the pits. The leader coming into the box.
This is a big Wolf in the pits as well.
Along with Wolf coming in, and is East coming in? East comes in as well.
The pits.
The top 3 and top 5 all come in. With Sims coming in, Sims stays out. Interesting tactic there. He may be worried about getting undercut, but he goes into P1. There is no way they're considering a no stop with the speed that he's been going. Capitan comes out P2.
So
only 4
Capadona
seconds
stays out.
Only 4 seconds behind.
Capitan fighting with Wolf.
Yeah.
Capitan stayed out.
So that's interesting. Wolf must have had a very fast pit stop because he's come out right behind Capitan. So that's very interesting.
Yeah. East Sliders is ahead of Melodic. So that's a
That's
East actually
come out before Melodic. Melodic did box, didn't he? A lot of this lineup below we're very confused about because some people have pit stopped, some people haven't, and obviously we can't tell with this graphic on the right here because of the fact that they have a car.
So Sims leads. You think he'll have to box his lap? He has Capitan all right.
Capitan is catching up to him massively. Sims has got tyre wear there. There's no way Sims
Capitan's
is overtaking the lastest.
Him.
He's already overtaken.
Capitan got him.
So I don't think it's worth going for a no stop because the amount of time you lose in the pits is it's going to be a lot less than the time you take to box than you lose in the race. So surely he's got to come into the pits now. The strategists have got to bring him in, as he's going to begin losing time as well to the others behind.
Wolf Landry looking at the possibility net P2.
One thing we haven't, yes, Sims does dive into the pits. One thing we haven't considered, however, is that if when he does dive into the pits, he is going to have softer tyres for these last laps, and in theory should be faster.
Mm-hmm.
So we're now on board with AG. AG into the pits. AG Kappa dives into the pits. Sims is coming back out of the pits now. Seems to be a quick pit stop. And water department back
So
down to 30.
Capitan,
And did you look at that?
Capitan in the lead now.
Yeah, he's got a 5-second gap, and Wolf has managed to gain a lead against East. So it seems as if that battle is over. Sims coming out
For
in
the time
P5,
being.
and Real Miggy in P6, obviously not having boxed yet. I presume he'll be anytime soon.
No, he's parked.
He's pit
Mickey's
already.
pit.
Well, Miggy
Yeah.
must have had a very quick stop there, or there are still, because he's managed to come out P6 somehow. So he's going to be over the moon with that
I think
result. there.
everybody's pit now.
Yeah. He's going to.
Sims is out.
Sims is out.
Sims out.
What's happened there? Sims is disconnected. Major issue there is
He
Sims.
drove into the tents. He drove into the tent area and just...
Oh
He
my
drove
word.
straight into the tent area.
Major issue there is Sims has disconnected, and that
Oh
is
no,
that is
Renault.
Renault's points completely lost for the feature race there.
That is a blow. Antelol is out.
Antelol.
Well,
No,
dead
Antelol is
ass. He was
continuing.
dead last.
Oh, someone said he's retired. But he
Yeah.
seems to be continuing by the looks of it. Now, one battle we haven't considered
Oh, look
is
who's back battling. Wolf
Exactly.
and East are back at East is overtaking Wolf.
the two are back at it, continuing.
Wolf must have had a mistake.
Definitely, and because East is
Don't-
just getting away there, he must have had some kind of poor pit feeling good on these tyre compound because he's just looking slow and just sticky.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's fighting East pretty hard,
Yeah.
so hasn't gone past him now, but Melodic is behind him.
Exactly, only 3 seconds behind, and then Real Miggy has got a large gap behind.
Ooh. East is just ahead,
Neck and neck.
just trading the draft.
Now can take the better line through the corner is going to be the key thing. East gets the
Looks
better
like East.
exit. Oh, and Wolf clipping a
bump.
bounce there. And now
Mhm.
Melodic is really close. He's really caught up.
Oh! Wolf hits the bump.
However, East also runs wide, so they're both going to lose lots of time with Melodic, who has also gone purple in Sector 1.
Is now a man on a mission. Got the gap down to 2 seconds.
Definitely,
Wolf.
and he's going to be looking for a podium.
And Green in the second. He is just
He has got his foot down on the pedal. Oh, and that's
real
East.
Mickey trying to hold off La Copiade.
East nearly loses it there.
He is up into Mickey's up to 5th.
Miggy defending there. As we go on board with Melodic slowly working his way to catch up with the two.
He has the fastest lap.
Yes.
That's,
He
that's
just set the
point in
fastest
standings.
lap. Extra point at the moment. Oh no! And he's lost it! Running on the grass.
Oh, lost it again.
He's losing it again. That's surely got to be his race over for a podium. That's surely ruined his podium,
ow.
chum. That is true though. He did manage to come back from a large gap. The gap now is gonna be as they come across the sector 1 line. We'll see. Capitan has just extended his lead. Consistently stayed ahead. Now it's a 9.5 second lead to East and the leader.
No problem for AG. Capadonna
AG.
slowing.
Oh, he is.
He's slowed down.
Massively. Melodic
Let
is now
Zada
5
by.
seconds behind. Leave, East and Wolf are back at it. As they're beginning to overtake back markers. The
Wolf's
Renault
ahead by
II getting out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, East getting out of sorts. He's lost a lot of time to Wolf.
Yeah, definitely. East is kind of trying to stay with Wolf here, but that is a massive lead he's lost, and he cannot afford to begin to catch up now in these last 4 laps.
Goodness luck, hope he had hitting a big bump. That same bump
Yeah.
that's just been wreaking havoc on these cars.
Looking down at Rapgod now in P12. He managed to have a poor start, poor sprint race. He recovered it, was up into P8, but now he's just seemed to have lost it again. P12 and no kind of suggestion of points.
It's just extreme.
Yeah, Melodic seeming to have lost his mojo now on pace, as he has set 3 yellow sectors last lap.
Broman is fighting with Copadon. Copadon has held his position
So they're both fighting for...
so far, but Broman gets out of sorts, saves it.
Just barely saves it from going into the wall, but he's going to have to really defend
And
out
now
the water
he's
department.
under threat from water. So AG back up to 8. He's got a 3-second gap. But Copiate's been keeping with Mickey right now.
Yeah, it seems he has.
Kept that second.
Miggy has managed to definitely recover his race here on for some very solid points, despite the fact that he's very far back from top 4.
Melodic below 2-second gap to East.
So they all seem to be running slow, but Melodic slightly faster than the cars ahead. He's really catching East, and East seems to be having a lot of issues. Wolf has maintained his pace. Melodic
East, yeah, he's about to get overtaken. He's just been wheeled in.
Yeah, East had some real issues.
He's just clapping the curbs. Does he have a suspension issue?
He's running very wide. We'll go on board with him. Not that we can see of. As we go on board with Melodic, who's trailing behind.
See the gap.
Yeah.
About a second. So he's reeling them in like a second per lap.
Definitely. Capitan staying consistent out front. He really does not want to slip. Kazaka cost his race. He's only got a 10-second lead.
Right behind Miggy.
Yeah,
tries to go. Nope, nothing there.
Sliding around that corner.
I just lost a lot of time through that last corner.
And that's a real shame for Sims there. He was on for a great race. He had a very good strategy.
Yeah, Sims.
He boxed later, so he would have had fresher tyres than most recent laps. Been looking at a podium or P4, but no, managed to disconnect somehow. That's very unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Whatever problem that was, he drove straight into the tent area and retired the car.
Yeah, I think from some information I got, he lost connection, so that would have been just his car when he got out or disconnected, just driving into it. That is a true shame.
Okay. Lacopier looking for a move on Miggy. Can't really go down straight. Meanwhile, Melodic has gotten past East.
So Melodic has managed to gain
Melodic
a
is now
podium.
in third.
Both the Centuri drivers having a brilliant feature race. 2 positions on the podium, and that is just going to further extend their already large leads in the constructors, and surely they're going to be confirmed constructors.
Oh, East goes sideways.
Is Miggy going to be able to make up? That's a large section of time. Surely not. Surely East has got a confirmed P4 there, with real Miggy approximately about 30 seconds behind.
Lacopier sorts now might start falling victim to Zaza.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Water Department is fighting with Broman. It looks like he might have that position for P9. As they go through the end. Broman's not giving an inch. Water Department has the inside, goes wide, switch back.
Ooh, that is one thing. If you run too wide over those curbs, it's very hard to get your wheel back over.
They're still side by side into the Vietnam like right-hander.
Now, one thing
better run.
One thing we need to consider here is Capitan. He had a 10-second lead last lap, so Wolf has made up 3 seconds on him 1 lap. Now that's not going to be enough for Wolf to catch up and consider for a P1, but is it going to be able to possibly apply some pressure on him, do you think? Is he going to have a chance of maybe looking at that
Too
P1?
little, too late.
Likely is too,
Too little, too late.
which is a shame for him. Because he's had such a great weekend, finishing P3 after being a reserve, and by the looks of it, P2 in this race. Melodic has now confirmed set the fastest lap, so he's going to get that extra point as he's cruising along in P3.
Oh,
Is that
that's not
Broman?
getting out of shape.
Broman and Water are still contending for that P10 position. In fact, according to the leaderboard, they crossed the line exactly at the same time there. So as we move on to the final lap, once they cross the line here, it's going to be neck and neck to try and fight for that P10.
They're still just neck and neck. Roman, just same as they were last lap
And
in
now
the same
Nikolai
section.
is
Just-
disconnected. So that's going to be a confirmed position for the driver. We haven't been considering is Zaza. He had a few slip-ups earlier, but he's managed to work his way back into P7 for some consistent points for Porsche. That's going to be an okay result from him.
Unfortunately, his teammate Sna isn't doing as well.
Exactly.
About to get lapped, in fact.
So as I mentioned before now, Wolf has dropped that gap down, oh well it was, down to 6 seconds. But I presume Capitan is just emptying his tank now, finishing it on this final lap.
Yeah. Miggy is...
Miggy is
Oh,
again,
he's under fire from Copian.
yeah, he's under fire, very close.
Son spun. Son spins.
Who spun?
Son in 14th place.
Oh damn.
Pretty much last
The
at this
second
point.
Porsche driver, so that's going to be disappointing for Porsche. A lot of these teams have got one key lead-out driver and the second one lacking. That's seen with the junior team of Brandstar, but obviously not present with Centuri in P1 and P3.
So Miggy fine with Copian here on its fifth place. Miggy right now has the edge of Copian. As Copian goes wide, that might be it.
And now Capitan is
Probably.
the line to win the feature race of round 2 in South Korea. He comes across P1. Wolf coming across in P2. What a weekend he has had. Brilliant 2 races. Melodic secures position 3. Sliding round. And that's East who's
How
gone
much
off.
fun!
That's East who's gone off, but he's managed to recover it with the amount of gap he has behind. Although that said, it's only now 10 seconds. It was like 30 seconds a few laps ago, and now he seems to have lost it. That's very just major issues with his tyres there, not being able to conserve them.
Unless he screws up his last corner, he's got it.
Yeah, he confirms and comes off. Real Mig now, up next.
Happening. That's it. The closest fight right now is that between Tactical and Onmi for P12. It's a pretty spread out race.
So Zaza,
Lacope just beating. So Lacope had some drama at the end, and Zaza almost snatched 6 from
yeah,
him.
he would have been disappointed with that. Water Department coming across again,
That
up
would have
P9. Broman in P10. And Rap got cover 1 position. Nearly loses it, but finishes P11.
And
Ominous.
Tactical had an issue, so Onmi is going to get 12th.
Ah, were they fighting before then on this final lap? That's a shame there.
Yeah.
Tactical had not a great weekend for Windsor. I think he may have just gone off and hit into the wall. He's losing it. Definitely suffering.
No,
from
he
tyre
saved
wear.
it.
He goes
All
over
over
the
the
Mickey curbs. He would
sausage
not want to
curbs.
lose it there and not be able and retire. As he slides about and completely loses it now, going into the wall.
Yep, there goes Tactical into the wall.
He should be confirmed now as Snore already finished the race. And there is our lineup. Capitan P1, Wolf Landry P2, Melodic P3, East Sliders P4, Miggy P5, Lacoop P6, Zaza P7, AG Kappa P8, Water Department P9, Broman P10, Rap God P11, Omni P12, Tactical P13, and IO Mellow Fellow P15. So that is our lineup now, as we will be going for the podium celebrations of the top 3.
And hopefully some interviews.
Yeah, so that was a very good performance once again from our P2 position holder of Laundry. That is just a great position. Shea's got to be extremely happy with him. He's brought in a reserve who's managed to take who's managed to take a P3 and a P2, which is going to be great points for them, and possibly may even put them into position 2 in the constructors. So as we can see, the drivers now cars into Parc Ferme.
Man.
Century
So it's a
GP
double points finish for Wolf's team. That Jay is gonna be really happy. As he said, he's gonna be overjoyed.
This is going into the Ion Media building to prepare for the podium celebrations. And there you can see, I'm not sure where the third car is, but you see the winner. That is Capitambo, and that is of course for the Brandstar F2 Academy in P2 there. Both of their liveries as they're preparing for the celebrations.
Well, what do you think? Who do you think your driver of the day was? I'd put mine on the Wolf.
Definitely Wolf. He's had a brilliant performance, brought in as a reserve and managed to secure P2 and P3. I mean, no shadow of a doubt.
I don't think he's going to be reserve anymore after that performance. He's done.
Exactly. He'd be Shea would be crazy to drop him. But yeah, great performance from them. I think Renault were unlucky there with Sims, who was on for a great race and would have put some tension on Melodic possibly. But Melodic secures the P3. As we can see, they're waiting outside of the door, ready to come onto the podium now. I must say that racing suit of Brandstar looking very clean, with the iconic star on the right-hand side and their sponsors. Now this is going to be a well-deserved win for the drivers, I'd say. Capitan, he's made the best of what he can. He had a poor sprint race, but he managed to make up for it to a certain extent in the feature. So that should secure his lead in the constructors even further. Although Melodic did get consistent points, so I think Melodic will sort of be staying with him to a certain extent. Obviously Century GP are just going to be zooming out in front by loads. They're obviously the favourites to win, as we see Melodic come out and take a position in P3. Next out to come should be Wolf Laundry, Shea, the team owner of Brandstar, standing on the right. There he is, and he comes and takes his position. And now followed by Capitan.
And the man, definitely the fastest driver yet again.
Yet again, comes out on top. You can see the engineers and team owners on either side there as the celebrations begin. Century GP are going to be very happy once again with that performance. Coming out on top as they spray the champagne across each other.
So, I'm gonna get anybody. Can we get Shay here?
Yes,
pretty sure he'll be having himself a drink or two tonight.
That would be very interesting to speak to Shay. We'll see if we can reach out to him and contact him again, because his team obviously performed outstanding with the new driver. And yeah, we'll see what his opinions are on it. But yeah, we'll see if we can reach out to him. Celebrations continuing. You can see a lot of drivers around here at the bottom. And one team we didn't mention is Force Bangladesh. They've surely got to be very disappointed, in fact, with their performance. I'm not sure if they're going to drop behind Renault, obviously having to disconnect, but in terms of what they were expecting, it was not what they wanted at all. They've got to be disappointed. Only a few points. So now we're going to be joined by Shea again, the team owner of Brandstar, who's going to talk to us. Shea, what are your opinions on Wolf again pulling through, considering he is a reserve and taking P2?
All I can really say is GG's in the chat, boys. GG's in the chat.
And
that was a great one. So good. I'm so surprised that he was able to keep up with Capitan that whole time. I'm sure Capitan was afraid.
Are you considering at all to sign him on properly as the main driver to continue for the rest of the season?
Oh, he
already
definitely
is.
already is. He showed himself. Yeah, he has done a considerable amount of work. I believe we were able to have Breezy for this race since he was actually going to run in GT3, but we didn't know that ahead of time, so we ran Wolf. However, I think he kept good enough of a pace to be great for main driver. As for Water, we'll see what happens. We might bring Breezy back in, but because in F1, we might leave Water in as a main. In fact, I think we already have him as a main. But other than that, Water did a great job. He only had one spin out, but I was able to get points for the team. Wolf, best. I'm glad he was able to keep Melodic Adrian from getting that second place and having a repeat of Australia.
Yeah, yeah. And one more question. Do you think that Wolf is going to be a contender for P2 in the Constructors for this season? Obviously, he won't have the points from the previous race, but do you think he can make it up in the future races?
Well, that's to be seen. It depends on what Centauri GP is going to do with Melodic Adrian. I know Melodic had some really fast times. I mean, he has set the fastest lap. But other than that, I think Wolf can at least try and go for a P3 as he keeps up this pace. If he gets F2, that'd be a godsend. But I would be happy with a P3 in the drivers. I'm sure he could get something really good for the constructors if he keeps it up, and if Water keeps going the way he's going. If we get any better times on the next few races, I know a lot of people are having trouble with this track, so if we go for a more enjoyable track, they could have a bit more of a upgrade in performance.
Exactly, exactly. Well, do you have any further questions, Noob? I don't think.
I don't.
Oh.
Milta, thank you, Shay. See you next week.
Well, yeah. If somebody's going to be streaming GT3, you might even see me then.
Alright, see you then.
Alright, we'll see you then.
Alright, see you guys.
Well, I think we'll be closing off the
Alright,
stream.
join us now. Oop, you go.
Alright, I think we'll be closing off the stream for today. So that was the F2
hold on, we
round
still
two
have one
race.
more. Hold on, more interview. East Sliders. Good, decent race for you. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I got signed last minute. I did. Some are disappointed, but it's all it is really. Pretty good race overall, and yeah, it's a pretty high finish for Kitano. I believe so.
A pretty good job for being signed last minute. P4 is. I mean, that kind of performance gets you signed. You gotta be like you definitely, I think. So congratulations on that.
Well, I don't really main F2. This is a last minute thing. I main GT3, but for the sake of this race, I decided to do a reserve F2 without any prior practice. Overall, pretty good overall.
And one more thing, East. We saw towards the end of that feature race, you're beginning to fall back. Was that an issue with the tyre wear, or were you just struggling for pace? What was the issue there?
Oh, so I was catching up at the start, and then throughout the end, especially on the full race, my engineer told me that my rears were substantially worse than comparing to Melodic. So, from what I do remember, it's were the same, identical, but my rears were substantially worse by 10%.
Okay, so it's more of a.
And then because of that, it compromised my my exit speed in the corners, and I could no longer catch up.
Right, okay, that makes sense. All
right,
perfect. And I think we may have a few more interviews here. Wolf Landry here, who's going to be talking to us. He's going to be talking to us about his performance, obviously being our driver of the day in terms of commentary. So we're going to try and see if we can get his very interesting, because this is obviously his first time racing, and it's going to be his first experience with it. So yeah, his opinion. Oh, okay. So we're going to have to move over to a different channel. Cash, can you move Wolf into RVC?
Right. I don't know if that has a thing with it, but
Wolf, can you hear us?
Congratulations on the podium. Your first race and P2. You must be overjoyed.
And yeah, thank you. But yeah, it's pretty good to go on the podium in your first race. And the team did a great pit stop there. was amazing. We gained
So
like
what was the key? What was the key around this track for you? Like, how were you able to put together such a good performance on your first 2 races?
Well, I got a little bit of practice in the F1 car around here, and otherwise, I pretty much like the track. So,
Ah,
because there's a lot of high-speed corners, and I like that. So,
well, just congratulations and all. I know we have a couple more waiting.
Yeah.
So, Despicable, do you have any questions?
Yeah, just one more. Are you so? I mean, we were talking to Shay before, and he said he definitely wants you as a main driver. So, do you see, in terms of talking in the future, do you see yourself obviously contending for a podium position in this? And in terms of beyond this season, where do you see yourself maybe making an attempt at F1 or going for the F2 win next season? Where do you see yourself?
well, for season 1, I'm gonna take it pretty slow. I'll see where I end up. Then, depending on the position, if I'm in the top 3, maybe I'll go to F1. Otherwise, if I'm beyond that, I'll probably stay in F2.
Ah, okay. So
All
yeah.
right. Well, all right. Thank you, Wolf. Let's bring in Melodic.
Oh, wow. Oh, hello?
Hello, Melodic.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, Melodic.
All right.
How do you feel with your performance today then? What do you think went well? What do you think went poorly?
It was like a 50-50. Happy because we did a lot of points and we joined the 2 fastest laps with Captain. But a lot of mistakes in the future race also. But yeah, from that.
Okay,
Could be
so
the
do you
point.
think, obviously you said there are many mistakes, do you think your pace is faster than that? Do you think you're a contender for
Yeah.
possibly the winner of the Constructors, or do you think Capitan is...
I think I can actually make a good rival with Captain. Not like I'm not holding it. It's just like today was just a bad day for us in our box.
Right. From you, Noob?
Nope. I see we have a very full waiting room.
Also, wait. Can I say something to Kaz? It's just that he's here. That just like for like everyone to know that one drivers and F2 drivers fucking fix the bumps. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was
Yeah, and
Who else were we bringing in?
the stream continues. I
I did
don't
not see
mind.
that one coming.
Yeah, keep the drivers coming. Any of your choice, I don't mind. Seems like we've got quite a long waiting list. to
All
go.
right, let's pull in. See if we can pull in Patrick Huro. No, excuse me. What's his Who's Patrick Huro's driver?
Let's go ask.
Did Patrick Huro even race? I mean, TDM.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the race.
TDM would be interesting to interview because obviously he's the team owner.
All right, yeah. Let's hear from
Can we hear
let's
from
hear from
TDM?
TDM.
TDM would be interesting.
TDM fan.
Dude, hello.
Okay,
Hi.
TDM.
Hello.
Hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. You go, Noob.
Yeah, sure. So TDM, you. How would you rate your driver's performances today?
Capitan was quite good. Unfortunately, a few collisions in the sprint race hindered his performance, but in the feature race, he was as I expected. Adrian pulled off quite a remarkable drive, in my opinion. I'm really happy with both of my drivers.
And
Good.
do you think you've confirmed
Go ahead.
obviously you've got a massive lead first race. Do you think you've now for first place for constructors? And do you worry at all that your 2 drivers are going to race each other too much, which could cause further complications for the team?
Melodic and Capitan get scared that they're racing. I actually like the competition, the friendly competition, so I'm not really worried about any complications because of that. I still feel like it's too early to say anything about the constructors. Like, if we have the same performance, maybe like 2-3 more times, then in my opinion, it's currently too early to say anything about that.
And just one more. What is your opinions on the performance of Wolf Landry, the new Brandstar Academy driver? Does he worry you at all? Could he threaten any of your drivers' constructors' positions?
He doesn't really worry me, but I would like to congratulate him on such a successful debut.
Any questions, Noob?
No.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Is there
Oh, do you
anyone
have
else
any more?
further?
Anyone else that you would like to?
Others?
I think this is all
Oh.
F1 personnel.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be it for today's stream then. Thank you very much for watching the F2 coverage of the round 2 in South Korea. Make sure to stay tuned for next time. That'll be an interesting one. You'll be joined by our same commentators. Do you have any final remarks, Noob?
Well, join us for GT3 action tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's
And
right.
yeah,
Perfect.
see
We will
you.
see you
See you next week.